Hello, what's up? Howdy. Hey guys, John here, the truck driver man. To answer your question, no, I have not gotten a haircut since my last video. And yes, it is every bit as soft and luscious as it appears. You're probably wondering where my truck is, since this is a video about truck driving. It's parked right now. I'm on home time, but I'm still a full-time trucker. See, here's some B-roll to prove it. Anyway, if you just want to skip right to the trucking stuff, feel free to skip ahead to here. But before I get started, I just wanted to give a big thank you to everyone who responded to my last video, and a big thank you to Harry, aka the Rideshare Guy, for giving me the chance to make it. The YouTube algorithm recently decided to show that video to like 2 million people, which is so crazy. Even a famous person said they liked it, and when that happens, I'm pretty sure you're legally obligated to make more videos. I'm no criminal, so I did go ahead and make my own channel. The link's in the description. The channel is called Trucking Seriously, and it's gonna be just me talking about trucking stuff and doing some goofs and probably even doing some goofs about trucking stuff. If you want to subscribe, you can also just head to truckingseriously.com. You can find me there. I'm still spending 70 hours a week driving my house around though, so please don't yell at me for being slow at uploading, or slow at driving, or slow in general. Okay, so what's it like to drive a truck during a pandemic? Well, it's pretty much the same. Same as before, really. No changes. Well, that's the video. Bye. Okay, but really though, what's changed about truck driving isn't the actual driving. It's everything that happens in between the driving. Like right now, for instance. This isn't my fancy condo. This is an Airbnb. Normally I spend my home time at home with my family, but some of them are high risk and they've been in quarantine, and I really don't want to give them COVID. Being a truck driver does expose you to way fewer people than you would encounter at a lot of other essential jobs, like at stores and restaurants and truck stops. However, trucking does expose you to a particular kind of person, namely other truckers. Many truck drivers are still skeptical about everything, really. Vaccines, 5G, climate change, the moon landing, but especially COVID. Having to share bathrooms and waiting areas and company facilities with these folks, many of whom still refuse to wear a mask, it's not ideal. I'm not trying to stereotype. There's a lot of truckers out there that do believe in science and do follow mask recommendations. But anecdotally, I see a lot less mask usage out in the country at trucking facilities than I do at stores and businesses here in my big metropolitan hometown. The beginning of COVID was especially rough. In the before times, I would take time off every 2 to 3 weeks to go home and see my family. But some of them are high risk. They started quarantining as soon as the pandemic started. Now, I didn't want to put them at risk by re-entering their germ bubble, so I figured I'd just stay out until the pandemic was under control. And I wound up driving for the next 5 months straight. If it was easier to get tested for COVID, I would have gone home more. But as a company driver, it's hard to schedule a testing appointment because I never know where I'm going to be at any given time. Most of the places we park are way out in the country where there's not that much testing infrastructure anyway. Getting tested during home time wasn't really an option either, because in the days before rapid testing, getting a result back would often take 3 to 5 days. And I'm only allowed out of the truck for 4.5 without dipping into my vacation time. So I just drove and drove and drove. Of course, I still went into truck stops and stores to eat and shower and use the restroom, but I didn't want to risk infecting my family, and I just couldn't justify taking time off and spending money on a motel room just so I could lay around and watch TV. So I just trucked for 5 months, and it sucked. Part of my soul withered away, but I also got paid. Because I only went home like 5 times during the year of our Lord 2020, I made a lot more money than usual, and I spent almost nothing. Like most essential workers, the only hazard pay I got was a couple of thank you emails and a $5 gift card to McDonald's. But business for my company remained solid throughout the last year. Staples like food and paper products and booze are always in demand, even if consumers are buying them at different places. Smaller trucking companies did take a big hit in March during the lockdowns, and many shut down. Even some larger outfits may still be struggling, particularly those that serve restaurants and the oil industry. Overall, though, freight rates actually went up year over year as vaccines arrive and businesses prepare for a busy year ahead. Although much of the trucking industry has remained kind of blissfully ignorant, the scale of the tragedy that the pandemic has brought is hard to comprehend. Hundreds of thousands of Americans are dead, disproportionately poor people and people of color, and millions more people are out of work, facing eviction and long, difficult roads out of poverty. While the work-from-home crowd shops on Amazon and complains about their Zoom meetings, the rest of us, warehouse workers, truck stop employees, line cooks, rideshare drivers, nurses, doctors, cashiers, plumbers, janitors, mechanics, so many others, have been forced to put themselves and their families at risk just to survive. It's hard to overstate how bad things have been and still are, but hopefully the worst part is almost over. Hang in there. Keep wearing those masks. Heck, wear 2 masks. I've heard that's even better. And hey, if you're a driver too, let us know in the comments what the pandemic has been like for you. There's 3.5 million of us in this country, and the pandemic's been different for all of us. And please do check out my personal channel, Trucking Seriously, linked below. A couple commenters accused me of sugarcoating my infamous viral video about truck driving. So one of the first videos I made on my channel is about some of the worst parts of trucking. And you know I put some goofs in there too, so be sure to check that out. And if you're at all interested in the gig economy and rideshare driving, be sure to subscribe to this channel too. Harry and the rest of the contributors are the best resource out there for rideshare drivers, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to share the platform with them. That's all I got for now, folks. I gotta head out and get back to trucking. Thanks for watching, and be safe. That's actually just the pantry.